Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Sim Rap Market National Series here from Richmond International Raceway. And I just realized I got too many S's here in my tower. We'll get that fixed. There it is right there. I know it was supposed to be Myrtle Beach this week. Unfortunately, due to issues with the setup, we're going to be racing here at Richmond, and we're getting ready for a great race as well. This is the first race of the playoffs. You can see your playoff drivers are highlighted in yellow on the tower. They'll have yellow names. If we put the ticker up there, the names will have the yellow banner, so you'll know which drivers are your playoff drivers. Some of the drivers will also have the banners on their cars. Looks like might not have everybody's paint jobs loaded in here, so I'm going to make them ugly for a second, see if we can get these back up here, because I do know that I don't see a paint job here on the floor of Eric Schaefer. Let's see who else is a playoff driver. I know I saw Josh Lokovitz had the playoff banner. Yep, here's Craig Lautenschlager. He's got that yellow banner, the yellow valence, and the yellow spoiler. So, you know, he's one of the playoff drivers. Same with Jacob Jorgensen here. Even has the yellow number on top, so make it really easy to identify some of these playoff drivers. I think it looks like Eric Schaefer may have tried to load up his paint job and may have made an error doing it, and that's why it's got that plain car, but that's all right. We know who the playoff drivers are by the yellow letters, and again, if we go over to the scrolling banner at the top here, the ticker, you'll see those yellow banners there on your playoff drivers. So it'll be really easy to see tonight who our playoff drivers are all throughout the race. As right now we've got 13 cars, looks like, signed up, getting ready to race here. For 150 laps around Richmond Raceway. Stages tonight will be at laps 45 and 90. Of course, your playoff drivers are, let's see if I can pull them back up here, because I just had them. Eric Schaefer will be your number one driver. Cedric Hunter will be in second. He will be 3 points behind Schaefer. They will have Warren Kyle Keith back in third. Craig Lautenschlager in fourth. He's the first driver with 2,000 points because all the points were reset. So Eric Schaefer has 2037. Cedric Hunter has 2034. Warren Kyle Keith has 2012. And then Craig Lautenschlager, Kyle Benson, Craig Parks, Brad Titus, Tony Kivett, Jacob Jorgensen, Spencer Gay, Josh Logovitz, and Jason Hastings all reset to 2,000 points. So that gives her those playoff points, as I mentioned, all through the season can come into play. As you can see, Eric Schaefer and Cedric Hunter earning all those points through stage wins and race wins, find themselves with a pretty hefty advantage, a 37-point advantage over fourth place. So that's going to be huge as the race, or as the rest of the season goes on. Of course, I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit on the notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we can't forget about our great partners, including the commercial you saw at the beginning, the SimWrap Market for all your iRacing painting needs, or if you're a painter and you just want a little bit of help, including number kits, overlays, Vector Smart tablets, base designs. Check them out over at simwrapmarket.com. Of course, our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting, including our store, intensityracing.com. You can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs of Atlee, Atman, Reese, a couple other local Virginia drivers, as well as our novelty t-shirts over there. And if you're a small-time racer looking for some swag, check out intensityracing.com and get a quote today. And we can't forget about our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and well-known leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic that reproduces immersive and accurate, powerful sim racing, flight sim, and other gaming effects. So check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. And due to the holiday last weekend, we will be going back-to-back weeks here in the SimWrap Market National Series, as race number 2 of the playoffs will be next week from Watkins Glen. So we'll be turning left and right, just like the real drivers. Next week we'll be turning left and right. So that will be a lot of fun, as we got about 2.5 minutes left here in practice before we get qualifying underway. We see a little bit of a battle here between Eric Schaefer and the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen. As these drivers trying to push the limits. It's so hard to pass here at Richmond Raceway. You would think, being a bit of a short track, that bottom lane would be the lane that you want to be in, but that top lane can definitely get the run off. So it's all about the runs that you can get off the corner, setting people up, and also the grip level. The track is a little bit on the slick side. Richmond's always known for being tough on tires and being a bit slick, so watch for that here tonight, as well as we got just under 2 minutes before racing gets underway. We can take a look at the rest of the season here as well. There you have your rest of your season. So we see Myrtle Beach has been replaced here tonight with Richmond Raceway. Then we'll move to Watkins Glen and Texas, Michigan, Talladega, Las Vegas, and Homestead. So a lot of great racing left here in the Simrat Market Racing Series, National Series. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned. Of course, normally we'd have our Tuesday night racing series, the Doghouse Racing League. They just finished their season. They'll be joining us back again on October 1st. So quite a few weeks until they get underway, and still have opportunities for any other racing series. So if you have a league that you're looking to have broadcasted, we do have openings. Shout us out on Facebook at Intensity Broadcasting. We'd be happy to get you guys a quote today. See two cars sliding off the turn number 2 there, and that's going to be, I think, the trouble spot here tonight is turn number 2. That part of the track really flattens out. It's very, very difficult to get up off the corner. As we are about to, here we go, checker flag is in the air, and practice has come to an end. We are getting ready to get qualifying underway. So let's see who the first drivers are going to be to make their way out onto the racetrack. Looks like everybody's just kind of hanging tight right now. Everybody's holding off on their qualifying attempt. They've got 10 minutes to do it. It doesn't take very long to get out there and get it done. It looks like Jason Hastings will be the first driver to make their way out onto the racetrack. Our playoff drivers getting up to speed. Off of turn number 4. Coming to take the green flag. 2 laps here of qualifying. It looks like Tony Kivet and Barry Knapp also getting ready to make their qualifying attempts as well. It's Kivet just coming onto the racetrack and off of turn number 4 coming to take the green flag. And Barry Knapp sitting there coming off pit road right now. Hastings comes off of turn number 4. His first lap is obviously going to put him up at the top of the leaderboard. He's the only driver out there so far. Gets that right down on the yellow line. Gets that car rotated very well. Up off of turn number 2, down the backstretch, trying to carry as much speed as he can. Late braking down into turn number 3. Drives it off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. He's going to be good with a 22.88. Oh, Barry Knapp loses it here coming through turns 3 and 4. He's going to have to reset and try it all over again. Here's Tony Kivet coming down the backstretch. Into turn number 3, running that higher lane here, trying to get some momentum. Drive it down off the corner as he comes to the white flag for his second lap. Kivet's first lap is going to be a 22.75. Let's see if he's able to improve on that here on his second lap. Down into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4. And Kivet jumps up to the top of the leaderboard with a 22.70. Cedric Hunter out on the racetrack, coming to the checkered flag through turns 3 and 4. And across the stripe, and Cedric Hunter is going to jump up to the pole with a 22.59. Here's Warren Kyle Keith down into turn number 3. And across the stripe, Keith is going to go 4th fastest. Down across the stripe, and Warren Kyle Keith now jumps up to the top of the leaderboard. And I don't see Hastings highlighted on my tower there. Just double check that he is highlighted here in the... he is not, so let me get that fixed on my end here. Let me watch Craig Lautenschlager make his way around the racetrack. Here's Eric Schaefer making his way. Schaefer currently in the 3rd position. And looking for more here as he comes down the backstretch into turn number 3. And he's going to move up into the 2nd position. Here's Chris Bishop out on the racetrack right now. And here's Jacob Jorgensen just coming off of pit road. Ooh, hard contact with the outside wall for Jorgensen. So he's going to make his way back onto pit road, and I don't see anybody else getting ready to qualify just yet. So we will hang off the screen for a second while we wait for anybody else who's going to make their way out onto the racetrack. While that's going on, I'm still trying to figure out why Jason Hastings is not showing up on my ticker like that. So bear with me just a moment. It looks like Justin Gahn's still out on the racetrack making some laps here. He has already finished his qualifying attempt. It looks like nobody else out on the racetrack just yet. We continue to try to get this figured out why Mr. Hastings is not showing up on my tower. We got just over a minute left, though, here before we get underway. And while we got a minute, we're going to get a word in from our sponsor. And we are back and getting ready to look at our starting grid here tonight at Richmond Raceway. And starting on pole here tonight will be the one of Craig Lautenschlager. Eric Schaefer will roll off from P, number 2. Warren Kyle Keith, another one of our playoff drivers, rolls off from the 3rd position. Justin Gahn, our first non-playoff driver, starts in 4th. Jacob Jorgensen will roll off 5th with Chris Bishop back in 6th. Cedric Hunter and Tony Kivett back in row number 4. Then Jason Hastings and Logan Sturgeon round out your top 10. Josh Lokovitz will roll off 11th. Barry Knapp back in 12th. 13th will be Brad Titus and Gary Wright from the 14th position. And that's going to do it for our starting grid here tonight. 14 cars getting ready to take the grid here tonight from Richmond Raceway. And again, I apologize for not having Hastings highlighted there on the screen. Josh Lokovitz isn't showing up highlighted either, so that's two drivers there that I'm not really sure what's going on with their while we're waiting for everybody to grid up here, we're going to take one more. I'm going to take one more look at this and see if I can figure out where I made the mistake. Well, the field's going to make their way around. We're going to get ready for racing here in just a moment, as they're going to take 2 pace laps here around the racetrack. We'll have to figure that one out for next week. But just know that Josh Lokovitz and Jason Hastings are currently in the playoffs. Let's make sure that they don't. See if they pop up here on the ticker here. Yeah, neither one are popping up there either. But either way, here we go. Green flag is in the air. And we are racing. And Eric Schaefer beat Craig Lautenschlager, who's their pole sitter, to the start-finish line. And as you know, the leader has to cross the start-finish line first, so we'll have to watch to see if that four car gets a black flag here, as Lautenschlager almost washes up into Eric Schaefer. And Eric Schaefer will be shown as the leader of lap number 1. Schaefer already starting to pull away as we got some great battling back here. We saw the 49 of Hastings getting around Josh Lokovitz, who are just battling side by side. Meanwhile, Justin Gahn has a mirror full of Cedric Hunter as they go down into turn number 1. Cedric Hunter starting back in the 7th position, trying to take 5th place away from Justin Gahn. While that's going on, Warren Kyle Keith starting to run down the 77 of Craig Lautenschlager as they go down into turn number 1. Eric Schaefer got out to a pretty big jump, but he's able to get, so Craig Lautenschlager starting to reel that 4 machine back in as Warren Kyle Keith right there applying pressure to the 77 of Lautenschlager. Craig doing a good job keeping Warren Kyle Keith behind him. And Cedric Hunter starting to run up on Justin Gahn just a little bit more. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, incredibly difficult to pass here at Richmond. You're seeing just that as Justin Gahn has Cedric Hunter trying to find a way around. The Hunter just not able to outbreak him in any corners just yet. But as the tires wear off, and they will wear off quick, we'll start to see the field start to spread out a little bit. We should see a little bit more passing here as Hunter thought about making a move underneath the 30 of Gahn, but just not close enough to make that move happen. As we see Chris Bishop in the 14 machine starting to come into the mix here as well. Now Cedric trying to make a move down underneath, but still not close enough to make that happen as they're quickly running up on the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen. As your leaders are still running 1-2, or I should say 1-2-3, pretty much nose to tail back here, or up front here, with Eric Schaefer continuing to stay in the lead. Justin Gahn rolls up on the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen. Now Gahn's going to try to take a look down underneath the 5 machine. And this could be just what Cedric Hunter needs right now, is Gahn to get a little slowed up there, but it looks like Jorgensen's just going to let the 30 right on by. Now Cedric Hunter tries to make a look down to the inside of the 5 of Jorgensen. Down through turns 1 and 2 they come. And Hunter's going to be able to clear Jorgensen up off of turn number 2. He's going to try to get the fight back to Justin Gahn. Meanwhile, back up front, Warren Keith was just on the back bumper of Craig Lautenschlager just a moment ago. But Lautenschlager able to get back to the throttle a little bit better. So Keith a little bit better into the corner. You can see he can roll into the corner a little bit better, but Craig able to get back to the throttle a little sooner. That's why those two cars are pretty equal at the moment. And Eric Schaefer now out in front by just over a half a second. Little three-car battle back here. Josh Lokovitz, Jason Hastings, and Tony Kivitt. Three playoff drivers. These three continue to do battle on the racetrack. This is a battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Right now, the field's starting to spread out a little bit as the tire wear continues to take place. Warren Keith continues just to get right to that back bumper of Craig Lautenschlager, but still not able to make that pass. As Chris Bishop now running up on the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen, trying to take away that 6th spot. Josh Lokovitz able to get around the 49 of Hastings. So move Lokovitz up 2 spots and into the 9th position. Meanwhile, Warren Keith now under attack, or attacking, excuse me, the 77 of Craig Lautenschlager. But not able to make a move on either one of those high or low lanes. Looked like Keith was going to try to give a little bumper to the 77. Thought better of it. 77 makes a very early dive to the bottom. A little bit of a defensive move. That keeps Warren Keith at bay. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Eric Schaefer has now grown his lead to just under a whole second. 0.8 of a second is the interval between first and second place. As Keith continues to look for a way around that 77. Meanwhile, Tony Kivitt taking a look down underneath Chris Bishop for the 7th position. He's going to take that position away. So 9 out of the 10 playoff drivers here in the race tonight. Spencer Gay not able to make the race as the battle for 2nd place continues here. So now Warren Kalkeith's starting to fall back a little bit from the 77 of Lautenschlager. So I'm really not sure why those drivers are not showing up highlighted on my screen there. And again, I do apologize for that as Warren Kalkeith continues to put pressure on Lautenschlager. Right now that's the best battle on the racetrack as everybody else starting to spread out just a little bit. We see 4 cars in line here. Jacob Jorgensen, Tony Kivitt, Chris Bishop, Josh Lokovitz. That's a battle that's heating up pretty quickly. As now Josh Lokovitz on the back bumper of the 14 of Chris Bishop. Looks up to the high side. Not able to make that happen as he almost gets up into the outside wall. He's going to lose a little bit of time there as Cedric Hunter running back down at Justin Gahn. As this battle continues to heat up here. There we go. We were able to figure out the ticker here as the battle between Cedric Hunter and Justin Gahn continues to heat up. We're just a few laps away from the end of the stage. We're also seeing Brad Titus, who just currently got lapped, running back in the 13th position. Meanwhile, we got a battle for a second heating up as here comes Warren Kalkeith looking down to the inside of Craig Lautenschlager, but not able to make that move stick, as Lautenschlager was able to use that high lane to stay out in front of the 21. We are coming to just 5 laps left here in the stage. As Warren Kyle Keith now is going to take a move down to the inside. As they go down into turn number 1, they're going to be side by side. Keith almost washes up the racetrack. A little bit of contact there as Keith able to hold on to it. Meanwhile, while that's going on, here goes Cedric Hunter around Justin Gahn. Move Hunter up into the 4th position. So now Craig Lautenschlager's got almost a half a second of breathing room now back to Warren Kyle Keith. As Justin Gahn just got passed by Cedric Hunter and trying to run Hunter back down. With just 3 laps left here in the stage. Eric Schaefer out to a very comfortable lead right now. Down into turns 1 and 2. A little battle is heating up back here between these 3. Josh Lokovitz, Tony Kivitt, Jacob Jorgensen, all playoff drivers. And the 14 of Chris Bishop in here as well, as Lokovitz going to look up to the high side here. And he's going to take that position away, so move Josh Lokovitz up into the 7th position. As we have just our final lap of the stage, and there's the caution. As Eric Schaefer makes his way into turn number 4. Caution is out for the stage. And Eric Schaefer is going to be your stage winner. Craig Lautenschlager going to be back in 2nd. Warren Kyle Keith in 3rd. Cedric Hunter, Justin Gahn, your top 5. Jacob Jorgensen, Josh Lokovitz, Tony Kivitt, Chris Bishop, and Jason Hastings round out your top 10 for the stage. As the entire field's going to make their way down on the pit road. So everybody, looks like they're going to take 4 tires and fuel. Don't think anybody's going to gamble with 2 tires just yet. So Eric Schaefer able to get off pit road first. Warren Kyle Keith in 2nd. Craig Lautenschlager off 3rd. Cedric Hunter and Justin Gahn, your top 5. Brad Titus was the lucky dog. He's going to make his way down pit road now. So while we've got pit stops finishing up and we got under caution, let's have a word again from our sponsor. All right, so we got 2 to go, which means that next time by, we'll be doing the choose. So as the field comes down off of turn number 4 here, we'll get the camera set up here for our choose. So Eric Schaefer going to start on the outside. Craig Lautenschlager to the inside, just like they started the initial start of the race. Cedric Hunter is going to be down on the inside of Warren Kyle Keith. So that's going to make up row number 2. Justin God and Jacob Jorgensen back in row number 3. Josh Lokovitz, Tony Kivitt, row 4. Chris Bishop, Barry Knapp back in row 5. Logan Sturgeon and Jason Hastings, row 6. As they are getting back down to the Geico restart zone. Whoops, green flag is in the air. And a great jump for Eric Schaefer as Warren Kyle Keith and Craig Lautenschlager continue to battle it out for that second spot. Now Warren Kyle Keith's going to finally get around Lautenschlager, take over that second position. A little further back. Ooh, Tony Kimmett got it really loose there underneath the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen, and Brad Titus having some issues. He's spun out. He's going through the grass. Fortunately, he is not going to bring out the caution. So we remain green. There's Barry Knapp right there on the back bumper of the 14 of Chris Bishop. So they come down the front stretch and into turn number 1. So the 49 of Hastings kind of running up the track a little bit, trying to use a little higher line. As we got some movement here as Josh Lokovitz is falling backwards. He lost a couple spots there. I don't know if he made some contact with the outside wall or what happened to the 79, but he's fallen back into the 8th position. Back up front, Warren Kyle Keith, Craig Lautenschlager, and now Cedric Hunter all joining the party for the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. A whole lot of movement up here at the front right now, though. And it's Tony Kivitt starting to run down the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen, who got really loose there on the last restart. Fresh tires kind of spooked the 76. Craig Lautenschlager now coming under attack from the 13 of Cedric Hunter. Hunter, who's had a great season, a couple wins this season. Looking for another one here. Both Cedric Hunter and Eric Schaefer with the most wins in the league. Won it many different types of races, many different disciplines, from super speedways, short tracks, intermediates. So both these drivers pretty equal when it comes to the championship lead. That's why just 3 points separate them. You see this great battle going on here for the second, third, and fourth position. Hunter thought about making a move underneath Craig Lautenschlager. Just not close enough to make that move happen just yet. As they come off of turn number 4, and we are just a few laps away from the end of the second stage. Again will be lap, actually it's a few more laps, I thought, end of lap 90. As Josh Lokovitz now getting a run here to the outside of Tony Kivitt. Not able to make that move happen. Not going to take a look down to the inside, but still not close enough to make the move down underneath. Meanwhile, while that's going on, you see Cedric Hunter still trying to find his way around Craig Lautenschlager. Again, we've seen Lautenschlager not so quick into the corner, but definitely able to roll the center and get off the corner a little bit better than some of the other drivers here tonight. And he's still making that shown. He's currently still running in the top 3. Josh Lokovitz again looks up to the high side of Tony Kivitt. Still not able to make that move just yet. He's going to look up to the high side yet again. And again, typically at Richmond, you don't think of there being a high side, but if you can get the momentum on that high side, you can make the moves. As Lokovitz runs way up the racetrack this time, tries to get a run down the front stretch and into turn number 1. You see Lokovitz able to finally clear the 76 of Tony Kivitt. He's going to set his sights towards the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen. Meanwhile, here's Lautenschlager again, still under attack from Cedric Hunter. So they go down into turn number 3, down the front stretch. But Hunter's still not able to get a good enough run to get to the back bumper of the 77. Eric Schaefer again has gotten himself out to about a second lead, running up on the 8 of Brad Titus, who spun on the restart. Finds himself about to go a lap down. Fortunately for him, he's the only driver that's going to be a lap down, so he will have the opportunity to get the lucky dog and get himself back into the race. A little battle back here between Barry Knapp and Logan Sturgeon. Sturgeon looking down to the inside. They continue to battle side by side down the backstretch into turn number 3. Sturgeon again just not able to complete the pass, and we've seen that a lot here. That high side starting to have a little bit more to it than that low side does. It will keep that momentum, roll that top a little bit, and you can stay out in front. Now it kills your tires and it can hurt you later on in the run, but right now it's working for Barry Knapp as he was able to keep Logan Sturgeon in front of him, or behind him I should say, as Josh Lokovitz and Tony Kivitt starting to battle yet again, and Logan Sturgeon again down to the inside. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Craig Lautenschlager and Cedric Hunter are getting closer and closer to each other. As this battle right here is for the 10th position. As Sturgeon finally able to clear Barry Knapp down into turn number 3. You see Cedric Hunter continuing to stay right there on the back bumper of Craig Lautenschlager. See Hunter able to get right there on the back bumper, but just still not able to make anything happen. And while these two have been racing each other, we're seeing Justin Gahn starting to creep up towards these two drivers here battling out for the final podium spot. As Hunter again able to drive in pretty deep and get right there on the back bumper. But Lautenschlager able to accelerate off the corner and stay out in front. Cedric Hunter now still trying to find his way around the 77 of Lautenschlager. Lautenschlager able to keep too much momentum up off the corner, and this track is a real momentum track, and we've seen that. As we got about 10 laps to go here in the second stage. Eric Schaefer out in front by almost a second. See Eric Schaefer, he's got a just over half-second gap back to Warren Kyle Keith. Runs back in second, and then it's almost a 2-second gap back to Craig Lautenschlager and Cedric Hunter. And again, Justin Gahn starting to creep right up into this battle here. Could he be fighting for a top 3 here? As Cedric Hunter, I thought he was making a move down to the inside of Lautenschlager. I think he just got a little bit of loose here. As Logan Sturgeon now trying to get another position here on the 14 of Chris Bishop. As Sturgeon's going to easily take over that 9th position. We'll go back to watching this battle for 3rd. Justin Gahn sneaking here into the picture with 5 laps left in the stage. Hunter's right there on the back bumper. Still not able to make a move down underneath the 77 of Lautenschlager. This battle continues. We see Josh Lokovitz and Tony Kivitt going at it here right in front of Logan Sturgeon. Lokovitz up to the high side. Kivitt right down on the low side. Lokovitz going to move into the 7th position. As Cedric Hunter back here is trying everything he can to get around the 77 Lautenschlager. He's trying the high side. He's trying the low side. He's trying to do everything he can. But to no avail. And as these two continue to block and battle, Justin Gahn now right there trying to sneak his way into this battle. Although we do have just 2 laps to go here in the stage. Warren Keith is starting to put a little bit of a battle here for the stage win. He's running a little bit higher lane. He's starting to dive in the corners a little bit, and he's caught right up to Eric Schaefer. And that looked like he was trying to pull a little bit of a Austin Dillon move there as he drives really deep down into turn number 3. Going to get a great run here off the corner. Going to dive it down to the inside for the final lap. Oh, they make some contact as Morgan Keith goes around on the backstretch. Caution is out for the incident, not for the stage, although that will be the end of the stage. So we pull up the wreckage rewind here. We're going to take another look at this one. See Warren Keith down on the inside. Eric Schaefer drives way down, tries to pinch him down there, it looks like. I don't think he knew how far along they were, as they were 2 cars occupying the same lane there. And then Warren Keith just spins off the corner. Fortunately, doesn't make any contact. So that will bring the entire field down on the pit road yet again. And again, Brad Titus is going to get the lucky dog, get back onto the lead lap. Of course, we're still going to have about 50 laps to go here. About 55 laps to go when we take the green flag. So we know they'll be able to make it to the end. As Eric Schaefer gets off first, and we'll take a quick word from our sponsor. So the way they come off pit road, Eric Schaefer first, Greg Lautenschlager, Cedric Hunter, Justin Gahn, Jacob Jorgensen, Tony Kivitt, Josh Lokovitz, Warren Keith, Chris Bishop, and Logan Sturgeon. Although we will have our choose here in just a moment. I think I heard we're going to be choosing this time by. So we'll get our camera all set up for the choose here. So for the third time, we're going to have a restart with Eric Schaefer on the high side, Greg Lautenschlager down on the low side. Justin Gahn's going to start on the inside this time of Cedric Hunter. And we'll see the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen and Tony Kivitt back in row number 3. Warren Kyle Keith and Josh Logan back in row number 4. Chris Bishop and Logan Sturgeon in row number 5 as the field comes off of turn number 4 through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air yet again. Another great jump for Eric Schaefer, who was able to get out in front here of Greg Lautenschlager. Cedric Hunter up on that high side has something to say. He's going to try to make a move here on the high side as we see one car bounce off the wall a little further back. I believe that was a 5 of Jacob Jorgensen. He's able to continue straight. As now Cedric Hunter up into the second position. And I don't expect to see Warren Kyle Keith hanging in the back very long. Imagine he's going to try to drive right up through the field as the 8 of Brad Titus has some issues here. He's been around on the front stretch. And we have a battle for the lead. Cedric Hunter taking a look down to the inside of Eric Schaefer. This is the first time that Schaefer's really had any competition tonight. And Hunter's going to take that spot away, other than Warren Kyle Keith trying to get around Eric Schaefer at the end of the stage. This is the first time anybody's been able to really touch Eric Schaefer. Warren Kyle Keith now up into the 5th position. He's continuing to try to march his way forward. As Cedric Hunter just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 21.97. And he is not done as he is continuing to pull away from Eric Schaefer. Logan Sturgeon down to the inside of Chris Bishop. He's going to make that pass. And Justin Gahn right there on the back bumper. Greg Lautenschlager, as we see the 21 of Warren Kyle Keith right there in the mix as well. Kyle Keith right there on the back bumper of Justin Gahn. See Eric Schaefer going about to lose another spot here. The 77 of Greg Lautenschlager. I don't know if something's wrong with the 4 machine or if he's just trying to save something for the end of the race. That's allowed Justin Gahn to get down underneath Greg Lautenschlager. Oh, almost loses. The caution is out. It's for the 8 of Brad Titus, who went around in turn number 4. And that's going to bring up another wreckage rewind as we take a look to see what happened to the 8 here that spun him around. Don't know if he just lost it by himself or made some contact with another driver. Here he is coming through turns 1 and 2. Yep, just gas it up just a little bit too much, and you see those tire marks there. He's not the first one to do that here tonight, although he made heavy contact with the inside wall. He heard the engine blow. That is going to be it for the 8 of Brad Titus. So one of our playoff drivers out of the race. Now Cedric Hunter is going to lead the entire field back down on the pit road. As I mentioned earlier, tire wear is going to be the #1 priority of these drivers here tonight. Does anybody come down, though, and gamble? Will we see anybody maybe take 2 tires? Right now we're seeing 4 tires on just about everybody. Cedric Hunter's the first one away. Eric Schaefer second. Greg Lautenschlager just barely beats Justin Gahn off. Warren Kyle Keith back in 5th. Chris Bishop in 6th. Tony Kivitt 7th. Jacob Jorgensen comes off 8th. Josh Lokovitz and Logan Sturgeon will be your 10th car off of pit road. As we'll have another word from our race sponsor, our series sponsor. Well, since we didn't have anybody a lap down, we missed the choose here, but Cedric Hunter chose the outside, putting Eric Schaefer down on the low side. We see Justin Gahn and Craig Lautenschlager, row number 2. The 76, Tony Kivitt, is going to be to the inside of Warren Kyle Keith. Jacob Jorgensen, Josh Lokovitz, and Logan Sturgeon and Jason Hastings in row number 5. As they come down to the Geico restart zone, green flag is back in the air. Another great jump for our leader as Cedric Hunter gets the jump on the outside this time. Greg Lautenschlager trying to make a move here to the outside of Eric Schaefer. Schaefer's going to pull a little slide job. Oh, almost pulls a slide job. Almost gets into the 77. Able to hold on to it, though, and he's going to stay in the second position for now. Warren Kyle Keith tries to make a move. He's got a run here on Justin Gahn. He's going to try to take it down into turn number 1. He is not, as we got one car starting to lose it here. The 76 of Tony Kivitt almost lost it. Able to hold on to it. What a save there. As this battle is the one that we're going to be focusing on here, is Craig Lautenschlager, Justin Gahn, and Warren Kyle Keith are going to be battling it out for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We see Josh Lokovitz right there in the mix here as well, trying to work his way up into a podium position. Kyle Keith got a little loose there off of turn number 2. And now he's right on the back bumper of Justin Gahn as they come down the front stretch. Take a look here from the back bumper of Justin Gahn, and you see Warren Kyle Keith. And we'll get back to the throttle so much sooner, but not in the right spot to try to make a pass. Saw Keith working that high lane at the end of stage number 2. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't gone back to that, unless it's really hard on the tires and he's trying to save that for the end of the run. While that's going on, Cedric Hunter's now got himself out to a very healthy 0.7 of a second lead over second place Eric Schaefer. Now Josh Lokovitz under attack from the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen, and Logan Sturgeon trying to come into this mix as well. Justin Gahn, Warren Kyle Keith. Keith going to try to take it down to the inside, but again, Justin Gahn shuts the door as they go down into turn number 1. As the laps are winding down, just 34 laps to go here in our first race of the playoffs. And Warren Kyle Keith trying to do everything he can to get as many points as he can to try to catch up to Eric Schaefer and Cedric Hunter. So Warren Kyle Keith finally able to get around Justin Gahn. Meanwhile, Josh Lokovitz and the 5 of Jacob Jorgensen continue to battle it out here. This is a battle for the 6th position. Lokovitz down to the inside. He's going to have the position, but here comes the 5 of Jorgensen as Lokovitz loses it off of turn number 4, able to hold on to it. You're not going to get a caution, but he's going to lose 4 or 5 positions here. So unfortunate turn events for the 79 of Josh Lokovitz. As now Logan Sturgeon going to take a look down underneath the 5 of Jorgensen. And move Sturgeon up into the 6th position. Warren Kyle Keith right now on a bit of a tear. The only driver in the same time bracket as him is Cedric Hunter, your leader. Last time by, Cedric Hunter ran a 22.5. And Warren Kyle Keith ran a 22.51, where Hunter ran a 22.56. So right now that 21 machine is the fastest car on the racetrack. Logan Sturgeon losing that position he just gained to Jacob Jorgensen. Also, Eric Schaefer has some competition coming to his back bumper as Craig Lautenschlager is starting to reel in the 4 of Eric Schaefer. Take a look here at our last lap times. You see that Lautenschlager's been faster than Schaefer all but one of the last 5 laps. See how they see what it looks like when they came across the line this time. Yeah, that time Schaefer was just a little bit quicker than Lautenschlager, but Lautenschlager is coming, and coming in a hurry. So Jacob Jorgensen again able to get around Logan Sturgeon to keep him up in that 6th position. Of course, Jorgensen in the playoffs, Sturgeon is not. So Jorgensen trying to hold on to as many points as he can here tonight. Yeah, Sturgeon's going to try the high side this time on Jorgensen, but just not able to make that work. Meanwhile, Cedric Hunter starting to lose a little bit of time here. And I don't know why it says that Cedric Hunter is in the pits right now on the tower. Flip over to the if we flick to the ticker here, it does not say that he is in the pits. So that is just an error here on my tower. I apologize for that. There we go. That pit is gone, so that's going to make more sense here. Because we're coming to 21 laps to go. And if we look at the lap time here between Hunter and Schaefer, you can see that Schaefer is now in the green and starting to run down the 13 of Cedric Hunter. So Hunter was running really hard to begin this run, but it might come back and bite him now as he is losing time to the 3 of Eric Schaefer. At the same time, Schaefer's got a little bit of trouble in his rearview mirror as Lautenschlager is getting closer and closer to that 4 machine as well. Further back, Josh Lokovich starting to gain some of that time he lost as he's trying to work to the outside of Tony Kivitt. Right there in the tire tracks of the 76. He's going to work that high lane. Again, Warren Kyle Keith was running down, or being run down by Justin Gahn here, is Gahn in the 5th position. And Keith up into 4th. Lokovich now down to the inside of Tony Kivitt. Move him up into the 8th position. He's going to pull a little slide job there on the 76. Here comes Kivitt, though, fighting back on that high side. Lokovich get the drive off the corner here to pull a little slider. No, he's going to get a little loose there. They're going to continue to battle side by side. Meanwhile, Logan Sturgeon and Jacob Jorgensen continue to battle it out. As Lokovich has finally cleared Tony Kivitt, he's going to go back up to the high side. Kivitt's going to try to run it down on the low side. But you can see just how much better that high side is going to roll. We got Warren Kyle Keith up into the 4th position, trying to make his way back up onto the podium. With 15 laps to go, don't know if he's got enough to do it. Let's take a look at the lap times here. Yeah, Warren Kyle Keith's been a little bit quicker. Let's see what, well, that time Warren Kyle Keith was a little bit quicker there than Lautenschlager on that, the last lap. And he's a little bit more clean air as opposed to Lautenschlager running right behind the top 2 cars. So we'll have to see if Warren Kyle Keith is able to sneak his way back onto a podium here. Could we have an overtime finish as well? Could we see a green-white checker? Our top 3 running almost identical times. Cedric Hunter ran a 22.95. Eric Schaefer ran a 22.96. Craig Lautenschlager ran a 22.98. So these top 3 cars pretty much running the same lap times. And again, Eric Schaefer and Craig Lautenschlager both ran 23.07's last lap. See how it comes across this lap. Hunter 22.95, Schaefer 22.96, Lautenschlager 22.99, and Warren Kyle Keith with a 23.03. So, yeah, our top 5, even Justin Gahn with a 23.01. So your top 5 running almost identical times right now as we come to 10 laps to go. I don't see anybody really getting a big advantage here in these last 10 laps, unless something wild was to happen. And as I say that, we see Justin Gahn and Warren Kyle Keith battling it out back here. This again is for the 4th and 5th position. Gahn's going to take a look down to the inside this time. Not able to make it stick. Looks like he's going to regroup and go at it again. Meanwhile, Eric Schaefer had Craig Lautenschlager alongside him there for a second with 8 laps to go. These two just ran identical lap times. And while they're battling it out, it's going to allow Cedric Hunter to start to pull back away a little bit. So Hunter now with a 1 second lead with 7 laps to go. And a battle for the 2nd position and a battle for the 5th position both going on at the same time. We can see them both on the screen for a second there as everybody's pretty much single file in line at the moment. Logan Sturgeon again trying to look down to the inside of Jacob Jorgensen. That's not going to happen. Warren Kyle Keith, Justin Gahn now side by side with 5 laps to go. Gahn trying to pressure on that inside lane. Ooh, a little contact there between the two, but we know Warren Kyle Keith likes that high lane. He was making it work earlier in the race and trying to make it work again here. Great side-by-side battle as they come off of turn number 2. But Warren Kyle Keith going to have a little bit of the advantage off the corner, and he's going to stay out in front of Justin Gahn for now as Gahn tries to take another look here off the corner. Will he make a move down to the inside? No, he will not. He was going to stay tucked in line. Meanwhile, Craig Lautenschlager still riding in the tire tracks of Eric Schaefer as we have 3 laps to go. They come across the line here. Just 2 laps to go here from Richmond in our first race of the playoffs. Lautenschlager right there on the back bumper. Will he use the bumper to make the move to try to get into the runner-up position? Runs a little bit higher through turns 3 and 4 that time. White flag is in the air. Just 1 more lap to go. Off of turn number 2, 1 last shot here for Craig Lautenschlager. He is not going to be able to get to it. As they come off of turn number 4, Cedric Hunter is going to get the win here tonight. Eric Schaefer is going to come home in 2nd. Craig Lautenschlager brings it home in the 3rd. Warren Kyle Keith rebounds for a 4th place finish, and Justin Gahn rounds out your top 5. See Cedric Hunter make his way down to the front stretch where he's going to celebrate his win. As he celebrates his victory, we'll take a look at the running order, or the finishing order here tonight from Richmond. And Cedric Hunter again is your winner. Eric Schaefer brings it home in 2nd. Craig Lautenschlager in 3rd. Warren Keith and Justin Gahn round out your top 5. Jacob Jorgensen comes home in 6th. Logan Sturgeon in 7th. Josh Lokovitz back in 8th. Tony Kivett and Chris Bishop round out your top 10. Jason Hastings 11th. Barry Knapp back in 12th. Brad Titus and Gary Wright round out the field here tonight from Richmond as we get ready to talk with our top three, we will head to our sponsor commercial one last time. All right, welcome back as we get ready to talk to our top three. Starting with our third place finisher tonight, driver of the 77, Craig Lautenschlager. Craig, yeah, Josh up to with got a lot copy?
Yeah.
Man, first off, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's Lautenschlager, correct?
That's correct.
Man, I'm pretty good. Man, great run for you tonight. Podium here in the first round of the playoffs. Playoff driver, that's got to feel pretty good to get up here and be racing with them boys up here. A great night for you. And looked like you had a fast car there at the end. Did you have anything for Schaefer for that second spot if you had just a few more laps, you think?
Yeah. Did more like a 70 lap run or something to really have anything for either he or the 13 because it's just so difficult to pass. Very difficult to really even get up to their bumper. And I thought I had a shot for a second there, and I was just driving it in too deep, and it just wasn't going to happen without me either wrecking him or trying to move him with my front bumper. So I didn't want to have any bad blood in the first round of the playoffs. So I just kind of drove him as fair as I could.
Yeah, that's a good point here. You want to be there at the end. You don't want to make any enemies until maybe the last race. But man, like I said, incredible run for you here tonight. Obviously, a smaller car count, so not a lot of action on the racetrack as far as cautions go. But we did get that caution right after the stage. Um, I saw everybody came down and took four tires. Was two tires ever an option for anybody, you think, tonight? Or are you kind of surprised that nobody tried the two tires there early, see if it would work for them?
Certainly surprised. I definitely thought about it. I had almost nowhere in the left sides. Um, I think probably in hindsight, it's better off just to take two because, I mean, you got 45 laps. You don't want something bringing you back into the middle of the field when it's been so much green flags. So I lost no places on pit road. So I ended up making the right call, I think, even though I could have grabbed the lead if I took right sides.
Well, again, fantastic run for you here tonight, coming home third. Next week, we move over to Watkins Glen. How do you like the lefts and rights up there in New York?
I think Watkins Glen is a tough road course simply due to the fact that everyone knows it so well. So there's going to be a lot of people that I beat quite handily tonight that will probably have good road course cars. But I've been doing a lot better on that road course lately. I had a good car at Sonoma, so definitely like my chances of, if not winning, being in the top five or top three or something. So looking forward to that race.
Well, good points here tonight, and a good points next week. We'll put you in good shape when you get to Texas. So, again, congrats on the podium here tonight, Craig. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank? Any shouts you got to give?
Not really. I just thanks to the guys putting on this league. I know things didn't turn out with Sunoco shutting down, but the fact that they're putting an effort to get us to the end of this league that we put a lot of effort into is an awesome thing.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats tonight. Good luck next week at Watkins Glen. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks.
Have a great night. So that was your third place finisher, Craig Lautenschlager. Let's bring in your second place finisher here tonight, Eric Schaefer. Eric, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, brother, man?
Man, you had such a dominant car for the first half of the race, and it seemed like it just kind of went away from you. Talk us through the second half. What changed, and did you just kind of burn things off there on that second run, trying to battle it out there with Craig and Warren there?
No, biggest thing is clean air, man. Clean air to short track is more key than anything. As soon as I let Cedric go, I almost got back to his left rear, but if I would have stayed in the gas coming off of 2 right there, I would end up spinning him and myself both, and I wasn't going to do that. So I said, you know what? I'll just ride second here, see how it's going to go the rest of the race. And yeah, he had the clean air, so he got out there and just walked away. I didn't necessarily burn my stuff up, but it's like the track temperature was 70 degrees, and I've never been this loose at Richmond. And I mean, I know the track probably better than I know the back of my hand. I don't get why it was so loose, but that's part of the patch that they're doing tomorrow is fixing some of the looseness on the Xfinity cars. But no, man, once he got out there and into the clean air, I just decided to go ahead and run second. I was like, I already got the 2 stage wins. I might as well just go ahead and take max points as best I can.
For sure. And coming to the end of the second stage there's a little incident between you and Warren there. I don't know if you got a little, I know you said the track was really loose. I don't know if you kind of got a little loose getting into the corner there or just wasn't expecting him to be there. You guys made contact. What did you see from your point of view there?
I didn't know that we actually made contact till I went back and looked at the broadcast because I'd never got an actual contact incident for it at all. Like I never even knew that we touched. So I know that the stage was ending there. So we went down into turn 1 and he got up underneath me and I don't know. I mean, yes, I was loose, but I don't know if it like went down and door slammed him or what, but I never got any contact for it or anything like that. So I do want to apologize to him for that, but no, I was not trying to do that intentionally at all. But yeah, that's a shitty situation right there because I did not expect that to happen, and I damn sure didn't want it to happen to Warren because I was enjoying racing him right there for the end of that stage.
Yeah, he was coming on quick there at the end of the stage, and fortunately, he's able to rebound for a 4th place finish. But again, coming home second here tonight, had some good runs, had the first part of the race, like I said, under control. But next week we move over to Watkins Glen. We go left and right. How do you like your chances up in upstate New York?
We'll finish. I'm okay there. I'm maybe a top 10 car, but I would not be expecting to win. I know how good Cedric is on the road courses, and Craig and Warren, all them guys are really good on there. I'm so much not. So I will stay in my swim lane and hang out where I need to hang out.
Well, again, great job with the podium here tonight at Richmond. Good luck next week at Watkins Glen and at Texas. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank a shot you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, man. Shout out to you and Intensity Group Broadcasting for putting this on. I appreciate you. Shout out to Simrat Market for sponsoring the league. Shout out to all the admins in here for what they do. Huge shout out to Cedric for winning the race, and shout out to all the Drinking Bros guys.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats and good luck next week. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Josh.
Have a great night.
Yep.
So that was your second place finisher, Eric Schaefer. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Cedric Hunter. Cedric, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm doing well, not as well as you, though. Getting the win here tonight. Didn't qualify very well. Kind of qualified mid-pack. Don't know if what happened there with you. If you just had a little, I don't know if it's a track just didn't match up for you in qualifying, but the midpoint of the race, that car just turned on and went to the front. What did you change? Was it driving style, or was it just the way the track kind of rubbered up that allowed you to get yourself back up to the front?
Yeah, I think it just took me a while to actually get adjusted to how just the car drove at Richmond. I mean, I'm not particularly great on short tracks. Richmond, I guess, is included with that. So I'm not surprised that I was still in qualifying. I did get like really, really loose and almost wrecked in qualifying. I think I could have qualified closer to the front, but it is what it is. I'm really glad that we had, I guess, 2 stages. I would have loved to not have the stages and just had one long green flag run. But I guess those stages allowed me to just reset and then, restart a new run with all the stuff that I learned from the previous one. and just to be able to apply that. So started off the race very shaky. I would say the second run we were better, probably obviously top 3, top 4 pace, and then the last run I had no idea, or I didn't know that I was going to actually pass Schaefer. I figured I was just going to ride in second, try and save my tires, and hopefully run him down like the 21 did the run before. Thankfully, we got by him early, and this track's really hard to pass. So from that point on, it was kind of just push as hard as I can, hold or save tires as much as possible, and if he gets there, just defend for your life, and hopefully Craig can benefit and get a win. So. All in all, pretty good race. We learned a lot. We won the race, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, both you and your teammate with podiums here tonight. You can't be upset about that in the first round of the playoffs. And the speed just came out of nowhere, as it seemed like, because once you got around Schaefer, you immediately put down the fastest lap of the race. So, that car was flying as soon as you got out into clean air. Next week, we move on to Watkins Glen. I know Eric Schaefer was saying that you're pretty good on those road courses and you're the one to beat. How do you like your chances next week at Watkins Glen?
Ooh, I didn't know I was the one to beat, but good, I guess.
You're one of the ones.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, pace wise, just right now, I'd say like I'm confident about maybe getting obviously like a top 3 is kind of where my head's at. Obviously, I'd love to go for back-to-back wins. I'm trying to remember who was good at Sonoma, and I'm drawing a blank right now. I assume Schaefer's pretty good. I think Reedy was in that race, and he was pretty good. So I assume that the Cub guys probably won't be there next week. But with that being said, I got podium is where I'm aiming for, and hopefully we can get Craig into victory lane, or just at least enough points to move on to the next round. Obviously, I'm locked in now, so I'm going to race for bonus points, and I'm going to race for hopefully just to get my teammate in.
Yeah, when I asked Schaefer how he liked his chances, he just said that he's going to finish. So kind of gives you an idea of where he's at. I'm trying to take a look here at the Sonoma finish, and it looks like Lawson Peel won that race, but
okay.
See,
we'll see if he shows up, I guess.
Warren Kyle Keith came in third. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Keith. Yeah, he's going to be pretty good there, too. So, like I said, podium is where I'm aiming for. Honestly, like Watkins Glen 2, I've always called it from day one that it's basically the super speedway road course racing. It's kind of the great equalizer. If you're not very good at road course racing, you're probably pretty good at Watkins Glen. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's honestly a lot closer of a race than Sonoma was. It should be a fun time. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Watkins Glen, but I'm kind of looking forward to next week's race.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. Sonoma's a very technical track, where Watkins Glen's a little bit more. You have some room to make some mistakes. So, it should be a great race. Well, good luck next week at Watkins Glen. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout-outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to give you a huge shout out for everything that you do. Shout out to the drivers that showed up tonight, the admins also for setting or putting this race on, and to Chris and Craig, my 2 teammates. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Chris into the playoffs, but he's going to have some good showings in the upcoming weeks. I think we have Michigan and if I'm not mistaken, Vegas and Texas and stuff like that. So all tracks, I think that'll be really good for him. And Craig, obviously, he's in the playoffs. I think he's in contention for obviously a Final Four, I think. So, we'll try and get him there, and then hopefully I can battle with him for a championship. For a championship.
Well, again, good luck next week at Watkins Glen. Hopefully we'll talk to you again, and have yourself a great night.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You as well. So that's going to do it for us here tonight in the simwrapmarket.com National Series here from Richmond Raceway. Again, don't forget, because of the Labor Day break last week, we will have back-to-back races. So next week, we will be right here on Intensity Broadcasting for the race at Watkins Glen. So don't forget to hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and subscribe so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, we want to thank our great partners here, including IntensityRacing.com. If you're a small race team looking for some swag, get a quote today from IntensityRacing.com. Of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. Visit thebuttkicker.com. And of course, our series sponsor, if you're in the need of some iRacing paints, check out simwrapmarket.com. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.